Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. This is the Blaze the Lion podcast. I am your host, Blaze. Blaze the Lion, Blaze the life coach, Blaze the trainer, Blaze the visionary, Blaze the man on a mission. All that and more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you are watching right now, make sure you hit that like button. Hit like, subscribe, like this episode. This is the Big 50, episode 50.
Yo, say word. I'm on episode 50.
Yes, sir.
Fire. That's a milestone, yo.
It is, man. Praises to
So,
Jah, man. I am super grateful just to even be here,
yeah.
be in this position. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, man? So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the Blaze Online podcast. Also, if you feel like other people should be checking this out, tell them. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a damn friend about the Blaze Online podcast. We are live right now on YouTube. All right. Also on iSquad TV. This month's theme of November is a theme that had me hungry every damn day. Thinking about food, man. Vegan chefs and vegan restaurants. So every single Tuesday, I had on a different vegan chef from a different vegan restaurant. And tonight is no different. Tonight is actually the wrap up for our final guest for this theme: vegan restaurants, vegan chefs. So I'm excited. I'm hungry. I should have ate dinner before, man. I was tripping. I should have went by the shop, got
Thanks.
some food, right? See? Ah, all right. Those who love the vision, who love the movement, and love what we're doing right here, and you'd like to support, feel free to support. You can go to anchor.fm/blaze the lion/support, and you can give me your coins. Give me your crypto. Give me your US dollars.
The Ethereums and all that.
All of that. Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
All of that, man. You can go right there on that link and be a monthly contributor, right? For as little as $1 per month. Second level is $4.99, and third level is $10. And you get the logo you've been seeing all throughout here, the Blaze Online Podcast shirts, right? We got much more apparel as well coming soon.
Yeah, I gotta cop up, man. I need me a shirt.
For sure. I got you. Indeed. So for tonight's guest, yes, is, well, veganism on a whole led me here. I had always seen this spot, and as someone submerged and grew up in this Caribbean infused area, right? Miramar, Miami Gardens, Hallandale. You
South
gotta
Florida.
get the food. Yeah, you gotta get the eats. You gotta get the food. And stepping into veganism, I didn't really know besides Oreos, rice, and beans. Like, what do you eat? What the hell do you eat? What is out there? So when I saw things like vegan mac and cheese,
Yeah.
vegan oxtail,
Yeah. Talk to
vegan chili, I
Yeah.
said, hold on, vegan shrimp.
Yep.
What is this? Is this what vegans eat?
Yeah.
Man, as a youth, my dad used to carry me around to the juice shops, and I knew about the peanut punch and the Irish moss and that sort of thing, but I had no clue, I had no idea that vegan food could be so damn good. So tonight, I'm honored to have the owner here of Vegetarian Delight, none other than Vegan Trap Lord himself.
Yes, sir.
Chris, welcome to the pod, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on, dog. Real talk.
Of
And
course.
again, congratulations on episode 50, man. Because I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? And keep pushing, bro. Keep pushing. It go from episode 50 to episode 500 in no time. You know
I
what I'm saying?
claim it. I
So
claim it. Yeah, man.
super excited about that one.
Yes, 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 yes. So I gave my little introduction about you, but I always encourage my guests to share a little bit with the audience for those who may not know you.
No doubt. Well, everybody, I go by Vegan Trap Lord, owner and operator of Vegetarian Delight Juice Bar. I've been in charge of, it's a family business. I could start by saying that. I've been in charge of it for 8 years. We've been in business for about 16. So we definitely deeply rooted it within the South Florida community. And especially when you're thinking about like plant-based eating and everything like that, we were a part of the forefront in terms
Mhm.
of bringing plant-based eating to South Florida. Um, Man, I enjoy life. I like to have fun. I don't really do negative vibes. So, you know what I'm saying? Everything is always upful in my eyes. Like I try to see the bright side of everything to a fault sometimes. But, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Optimist, optimist. Yeah. Of course, man. In this culture, man, like as a Ross, when do you ever see? I mean, every now and then you'll see a Ross who's angry, right? Or
yeah.
like evil.
As because we have things that we get passionate about as well. You know what I'm saying? That's the when you even think like your name, Blaze the Lion. You know what I'm saying? Fire and lions. That comes with a ferocity in a sense. It don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to be unguided aggression. You know what I'm saying? Like it can definitely have meaning behind it and purpose to it. But yeah, no, I definitely know the other side of things when you're talking about the passionate rosters.
Yeah.
Come from that
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah. Where like I remember growing up where my family, we grew up in the church, right? So the Christian background. But when the Rasta would step in the room, for some reason, everybody would listen.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody would stop
I
and
always
just
as a young kid too. I always noticed that.
yeah, yeah. It could be the Ross who doesn't own a car, doesn't own a house, on a bicycle. It doesn't matter. They would
It's,
all stop and listen.
hmm
What jewels, what gems does he have or she have? So yeah, man, we are in great company here. Definitely, definitely. So let's take them back. Let's take them back.
Oh, I'm ready.
How did it all start? Vegan Trap Lord. Take us back 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
So
Veganism was very different.
exactly. It wasn't so much like obviously alkaline has been a thing for quite some time for those of us who know, you know what I mean. That wasn't like how it is now, the main focus. Now you find a lot of people, they're trying to steer away from soy. Like when I first got to the restaurant, man, if it wasn't Ito stew, it was soy based. There was
Mm,
literally no effort being put into making what they call like whole foods dishes in terms
yeah.
of vegan food. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was always on some, because you eating vegan, you don't want to miss out on your protein, so you got to eat soy because you need the protein on your plate. But that obviously that's before we started really meditating that there's plant-based protein in the other items on the plate that we eating. It's not
Yep.
the same protein as what's coming from the steaks that ones might be eating or the chicken. It's much leaner, so you're not gonna get that inflammation and that immediate bulkiness right away. You know what I'm saying? So like when I first got there, that was the meditation. And through studying, I tried to move us more towards the whole food stuff because I saw where that was the end game. The faux meats and things of that nature was more so for people to kind of wean themselves off of the actual meats.
Yeah,
And
transitioning.
yeah, exactly. So, and once you got there, once you got to that weaning stage, you didn't want to stay on tofu. You wanted to move off from tofu. So I started putting more of my energy in towards like looking into things that would be after soy. You know what I mean? And then we started doing more stuff where we created our own meat substitute, or we recreated it because we've always done it, but then we added some nuances and kind of switched it up a little bit. So now that's why we got vegan oxtail and stuff like that going on. Um, but yeah, from day one, man, the South Florida community has always supported us. They welcomed us with open arms first quarter when we was one of like two vegetarian, not even vegan at the time, but vegetarian was like the wave. So
Yeah.
we one of two vegetarian spots in the area. Now, when you look at the same area that we're in, there's like 6 or 7, man, and it's such a beautiful thing because it's like if you want vegan food in South Florida, come to this area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you could go to us, you could go down the street, you can go up the road, but it's everywhere has something that's pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? So I really vibed on that in terms of like how the community grew over the time.
Yeah. Do you think that was on purpose or that was by chance where you come to Miramar, you come to East Miramar, and it's like that Caribbean vegetarian vegan flavor is like damn near every traffic light.
Yeah. I think it's by design only in the sense that the area itself is filled with like the Caribbean diaspora from Jamaican to Trinidadian to Guyanese, Barbados, every Caribbean island you can think of. Like in that general Miramar, that East Miramar area, you can find everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that with the progression of like just people pursuing healthier options and us having that Caribbean community in that area, it allowed for the people who were in the restaurant business to start to warm up and open up to creating like vegan options on their menu and things like that. Because there's still there are a few of them in the area that still do like both. You know what I'm saying? They do a
Yeah.
little meat and a little bit of vegetarian or vegan food still. But you know, we're trying to push everybody towards the vegan side of things and the cruelty-free side of things in the long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. In the chat, who has been to Vegetarian Delight? I'd like
Yeah.
to know. And if so, what's your favorite meal? What's your go-to? I'm gonna actually send that question straight to you. As the owner, what do you? I would assume that would probably vary, right? Because you probably get tired of certain dishes.
Nah, you know what's crazy about me, bro? Like, I am not somebody who has to have like a different thing to eat every night.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I can literally eat the same thing for months and be happy. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
wow.
I don't like for whatever reason, I don't I don't get that I don't get tired of food in that sense. What I don't enjoy doing too much is having to cook my own food. So I prefer if somebody says, "Yo, I'll cook for you for a month, but I can only do this one dish." I'm like, "All right, man. If I like it, go ahead, rock out." You feel me? But
Mm.
if I had to pick one for real, man, I would say, see, I tell everybody it's the barbecue ribs because I've been eating the barbecue ribs. I've been eating since I was like 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm 32 now. So I've been eating the barbecue ribs for mad long, and I have not gotten tired of them yet.
Oh
So I
wow.
tell people that's my favorite, but if I'm in the restaurant on a regular day, I'm definitely going with the oxtail and chickpeas with the quinoa and some callaloo as my plate. Like that's my go-to right there for sure.
Mm-hmm. In the chat, we got Tamiko with curry chickpeas.
Mm,
Listen, man, chickpeas is everything. Chickpeas is life.
that's your proteins right there, man. You need that.
Chickpeas is life. And then you realize there was a period, I think beginning of this year, where every day for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
it was chickpeas. It was either chickpea tacos or some mashed chickpeas or chickpea omelet.
Love mashed chickpeas, bro. I like to take like I mash the chickpeas down and then throw in some celery and some purple onion and some veganaise and make like a little chicken salad and throw that
Yeah.
kale salad. Man, I'm smacking that every time, bro. Like for real, for real.
Yes. Yes.
My top tier go to snacks at the crib.
Mm. And you know, we would assume, well, people who would assume that it's so complicated, right? Or it's so expensive to eat clean or to eat vegan. And it's really not. Now, yes, you do have those places you go to, right?
Mhm.
In Fort Lauderdale, South Beach, where a
It get
burger is $30.
yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, and we've fallen victim to it too because of the just the atmosphere in terms of like veganism. It's gotten so commercialized and sensationalized that they're driving the prices up. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
one time when I could have got a bag of the vegan shrimp for like $60, right? Now the bag of vegan shrimp is costing $150. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you literally watch as things get more popular, they like, oh, they really like this stuff. Well, let's tack on the extra $30.
man, listen, I'll go get vegan burgers and fries.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and my queen, and that bill is $60.
Yeah.
Easy.
But if you were to source all the ingredients for yourself and do it at the crib, y'all can probably eat vegan burgers for a week off that $60.
See?
And that's
See?
I mean, even being a restaurant owner, I really encourage people to cook at home, you know what I'm saying? Because like how I see the restaurant, you can more sustain your veganism if you can do it at home. You know what I mean? If you have to leave the house or make a stop after work every single time,
Yeah.
chances are you're gonna have days where you falter. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You know within yourself, like, all right, when I get home, I'm gonna whip me up a lentil stew and some quinoa and knock that out for dinner. I'm straight. That's when it becomes a lot easier. So I try to encourage people, like, yes, come to the restaurant, find out the dishes that you like, find out the different flavors you're interested in, but then
Mm-hmm.
also go home and experiment too. Don't just rely on us to continue to keep you vegan the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, to really do it, you got to get in there and you got to get your hands in there and really mix it up.
That shows your passion
Yeah.
because people are in this veganism, right? Because it's trendy right now.
Yep.
So they just want to see people come in, spend their money, and they don't care if like again, not many people can buy food, right? Every night.
Yeah.
There are those who do, but really, especially if it's something new, if you grew up eating meat for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and you want to transition to veganism and you realize the only way to get to eat vegan that tastes good is to always go and buy it, always go to a restaurant. Mm,
It get pricey on you, man. You talk
yeah,
depending on where you go, you could be spending like $300, $400 a week easily. You know what I mean?
easy.
Especially if you're somebody who has to eat more than once or twice a day.
Hmm. Easy. Yeah, man. So,
I'm always like, like you people come by the restaurant, they're like, yo, how you make this? How you make that? I'll share it with you right then and there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, these are recipes that I've come up with, but they're not recipes that are foreign to mankind.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Like how to make oxtail is out there. All you have to do is go read the instructions and take out anything that you're not okay with, right? And then
yeah.
try to replace it with something as close as possible. To me, the cooking portion of the vegan thing is that easy. Just
Hmm,
find the dishes that you really love, that you just like, yo, this is my from childhood. This has been the one. I'ma stick to it, and then just take out everything you can't deem as vegan, butters and any kind of animal byproducts and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I would like to get into some of this food because, man, I've seen it, I have tried it, but it's so many who actually haven't, man. So I really want to showcase some of this food here.
The
Starting with here. Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen really quick.
yeah, for sure. There's a lot that always telling me to post more pictures of the food too, and I guys, don't worry, it's all put together the right way. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
didn't put that out there just randomly. Like it's got to be on point. Let's see what we got right here. That looks like curry chickpeas and mac
Yes. Curry chickpeas and macaroni. Yeah, mac and cheese.
with the brown rice and lentil peas with the kale salad. Yeah, that's a veggie delight plate for sure.
That mac and cheese though, man.
Yeah, it's one of the ones, man. It's one of them ones. Everybody talk about it to the point that probably I'd say probably up to like 3 years ago. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I used to only do the mac and cheese like twice a week.
Mm.
Yeah, now it's like every day.
Gotta do it every day.
Every day. And it's funny because when I was only doing it 2, 3 times a week, there was a young lady that came into the shop and she was like, "Man, that mac and cheese so good. Y'all should have it on the menu every day." And I'm like, "But I gotta make other pasta too. Like it can't just be mac and cheese all the time." And
Right.
she put both of them on there. It'll work. I'm telling you, the mac and cheese is so good. I was like, "All right, we'll see." And lo and behold, I mean, Wednesday probably the only day that I don't cook the mac and cheese, and that's because like I try to do like Chinese style food on Wednesday.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of people within our community like Chinese food,
Mm-hmm.
and so I try to even like get at them because it's like, yo, if you're gonna eat the Chinese food, then you should have no problem eating this because the flavors are right there next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like you can buy General Tao's chicken and then come to us and get the same flavor just minus the chicken and all the stuff that's not good for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And a
saying?
lot of that stuff is artificial. I can't even eat at a Chinese restaurant.
A lot of them places they're using a lot of MSG and all of the food.
Man, I get headaches after. I used to get headaches after eating Asian food. And
They,
besides the big name places like the PF Chang's and whatever, besides that, I couldn't go to the hole in the wall spots anymore.
no. Because after a while, like just eating a certain type of way, your body just rejects garbage.
Yeah.
If you try to really push to the limit and intake some things that you know you shouldn't be doing, your body gonna make you pay for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So we're going on here to, let's see. I
That's why
got so much
I
more.
really like looked at pictures of food before, you know.
No. Listen, man, um, it's so much here that I said, yeah, I gotta share because some people may not know, they may not see, but here we go. All right, so back to share screen again. All right, talk about this here.
Oh man, you see, from you got the quinoa in there, you already got a good place in my heart. But but I'm gonna tell you that's the curry chickpea. I'm telling y'all about these curry chickpeas now, man. That's the curry chickpeas with the callaloo, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's jerk eggplant
Mm-hmm.
because we do jerk eggplant quite often because I try to as I was saying about the Whole Foods dishes, right? I try to incorporate more of those where it's no amount of processed anything in it whatsoever. Like everything in there can be sourced from a garden. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying I've been trying over the past few years and still am trying to incorporate more of those type of dishes because
Mm-hmm.
although the vegan oxtails and the barbecue ribs, mac and cheese is like those things are entertaining and they're fun. But that right there, like this plate right here, this is a supreme plate because everything on there is like 100% vegan trap lord approved. No questions about it. You got the steamed vegetables with the quinoa and wild rice. Like that's how you put a meal together for yourself.
Yeah. I've tried eggplant. I've tried to cook eggplant.
Yeah.
And nah. I'm able to do it in like a soup.
Are you someone who prefers like your vegetables cooked all the way through, or you want it to have like a little bit of bite to it?
I like a little bit of both. I
Yeah.
like my heavily seasoned veggies
Mm-hmm.
with lots of spice and seasoning, but um I also like my raw veggies too.
Ah, okay.
So I like a good mix.
Cause see, like with the eggplant, what I try to do, like I cook it, but I cook it like just enough. You know what I mean? To where like the inside is still very not necessarily raw, but it's still solid and has like a bite to it, right?
Mm.
And then that carries like it helps it carry because the eggplant itself is a good food because it has a lot of water to it. You know what I'm saying? And eating food with water content is like a supreme life hack.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I encourage people to do that too. Like if you're watching, when you're watching, if you listen to this, when you hear it, make sure you tap into all of your fruits and vegetables that have high water content. Add
Mhm.
that gallon of spring water that you're drinking every day or your alkaline water. Throw some fruits and veggies in there.
Absolute, man. I got one more picture here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this one here. What is this? Let me see. I think I have to stop sharing and share again.
So,
uh,
technology, man, be really smarter than it.
man, listen. I
It'd be having
think
a hard
I
time.
see it there. Here we go. All right. This right here.
Yes. Another favorite,
That looks like seafood.
right? Man, that's our soy-free vegan shrimp dinner. Um, this one has like a sweet chili sauce poured over it. But usually we serve it fried with like a spicy dipping sauce that we make. But yeah, that's the and it looks like rice they got with it. Yeah, rice and peas and collard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the vegan shrimp, man. That's what I was telling you that got so widely popular that they jacked the price up on it for no reason.
So explain to people here because
Yeah, like it would look like what you look
people
at.
are like, "How is this vegan?"
Yeah, it's actually made from I don't know if you're familiar with arrowroot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's made from arrowroot, which is kind of like in the yam family.
Mm-hmm.
They dehydrate it, then kind of rehydrate it, mold it into uh, that kind of like U type shape. But when they make it, it has this kind of, I guess you could call it the same type of pop that traditional shrimp has. You know what I mean? Like that when you bite into it, that crunch, that snap that happens, this kind of imitates that, and the texture is like really, really, really on point. Sometimes too on point. I've had to have like very long discussions with people about what it is, and if you take a closer look, you'll notice that it's not muscle tissue you're looking at. Like, really had to break it down to people, and really, because when you see it like this, and then when you taste it, if you're not savvy, you might think it's a real shrimp you just ate.
Yeah. Yeah. There are certain vegan dishes where um that first bite, I had
Yep.
to look back and look around and make sure that I'm in a vegan spot. And like, this is fully vegan or is
Right?
this vegan options? Because this here tastes too good.
Yeah. Nah, I've been there. I've been there before. Definitely a couple of times. We've had with our vegan oxtail, we had this lady came in and I had stepped out for a second, so my grandmother was there by herself. Right? A lot of people who've been coming to the restaurant for years know my grandmother because she was a part of like the people who started the whole thing. So she was in there by herself that day and she had made the what we call the veggie steak. So it's our vegan pepper steak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lady called her back, came back to the restaurant with the plate of food and was almost in tears. She was so upset that we had given her real steak because she's looking at it and it has the tissue in there and she's like pointing out things that are not in it. But she was like, look, the muscles are right here. We had to go get it. She had to go get a whole raw, like the raw steak itself, and show her like, no, this. I took this and I made this. That's what this is, and cut into it so she could see it. Like it gets deep, man. It gets deep.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I love that. I love that. So you took over Vegetarian Delight 8 years ago,
Yeah.
but how long have you been in the walking rather in the vegan in the vegetarian journey? Is this from young, or
Nah,
was there a transition?
definitely a transition. Like I started out kind of how you would imagine most kids in America that don't really have a great sense of culture would start out eating. A lot of McDonald's, a lot of junk food, a lot of
Hmm.
fast foods, corner store food, and you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, like, I legit ate like that probably until I was about 19.
Okay.
Right around when I was like 20, 21, I made the choice to stop eating like seafood altogether. Up until I
Hmm.
stopped eating chicken when I was 17, and after 17, it was just seafood only. Like I never really had a love for crab and lobster
Hmm.
or shrimp necessarily, but I would eat shrimp because they would use shrimp to cook things that I liked, like certain flavors that I would like
Hmm.
um the sweet and sour shrimps and stuff like that. I couldn't eat the sweet and sour chicken no more. And it wasn't like they had a sweet and sour fish. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, let me just get the shrimp. That'd be the only time I really ever had shrimp like that. But I would eat seafood from, like I say, about 19, like about 18 to roughly 2021. And then
Okay.
that's when I kind of just one day I was like, yo, I was having a plate. My wife at the time, she actually gave me my last plate of like salmon, and I was like, "Yo, I'm done eating seafood. This is the
Hmm.
last one." You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
yeah, from that point till now, it was like, "Yo, this is what it is. This is how I'm living. This is how I'm eating, rocking with."
Was it a ethical standpoint? Because that Jamaicans, right, and in the Caribbean culture, you say vegetarian,
Mm-hmm.
but the rest of them still eat seafood,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So what sparked the
The
I'm even
cut.
done with seafood? Yeah.
It was one day I was on the internet, man, and I was in a wormhole of like world news,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about like just the different things that are affecting the overall cleanliness of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? And I fell into like a wormhole of just looking up videos of how the ocean's being polluted and how the pollution is then going back through the fish, and then the fish are eating the other fish who are being polluted even worse because they're only eating pollution. So it's like, yo, if the seafood industry on a whole scale is like wild, because where are all these shrimp coming from? If you've ever been to Benihana's, like they're giving shrimp away. You would legitimately think that in a year, one Benihana's could finish every shrimp in the ocean. The amount of shrimp that I see them give away when I go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where are they getting these things? And then to come to find out that the water itself is barely inhabitable. Are these things really in the ocean? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that shrimp really in the ocean before you got it? Like, what did it? Has the shrimp you ate ever seen the ocean? You know what I mean? So it was like a lot of questions like that, man. And then, you know, at that time I was eating a lot of salmon. And salmon is another seafood that is like, they GMO it like to the max. They try to they really, really try to interfere with salmon mating and everything. You know what I mean?
They
So it's
change
like,
the color of it.
exactly. And it's like, even I'm in the grocery store at the time thinking like, all right, yes, I'm getting the best one because it looks the best. And then I come to find out, like, yo, they just, all they got to do is put a little something on there and it bright red. I'm like, what in, I'm done with it. So it was like just a lot of that, man. I just seeing like how wicked the industry itself was being, and then understanding that where they're supposed to be pulling this stuff from, they're destroying it. So a lot of the things that they're telling us can survive in there can barely survive in there. So you pulling out shrimp that's probably barely hanging on if you pulling them out. You know what I'm saying? And who logically, you don't, if you were thinking, let me consume something, you wouldn't consume something that is sick. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't see a you wouldn't see a chicken like with a cancerous growth and be like, ah, yeah, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be like, nah, I don't want that one. Keep him away from my food. Like, so it's like when you just start to deep things like that, man. It's hard to really convince yourself that that's not the truth, and then make the decision to then go ahead and try to eat whatever seafood you putting in front of yourself at that time. You feel crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it was like just going through that phase right there kind of opened my eyes to it, man. And I was like, that industry is crazy. Just the food, the meat industry, the seafood industry, all of those things that have been basically like sponsoring the world, because everywhere in the world eats meat and seafood. So just to imagine that they are getting everybody the food that they need is very hard to believe for me.
Yeah.
A lot of these videos where they showing you that they can grow a steak in a bowl, they can print one. Like, I don't know, man. I'm really starting to wonder when the last time anyone ever had a real steak for real. Like, they don't know they print steaks out here.
Bruh, I think part of it is, well, it's a lot of different issues, but one of the parts is food is linked to emotions, right? Trauma,
Yeah.
right? So if you're going through a bad day, right, you're just thinking, I need something sweet,
True.
or I need something salty, right? So many people base their food decisions off of just taste.
Mm-hmm.
And as a vegan, it sounds crazy. It's like,
Yeah.
that's it? It's just if it tastes good?
It
Like,
can't.
how do you? And I used to do that though.
Yeah.
I used to be the same way. Like, oh, well, as long as it tastes good,
I'm straight.
yeah. But after going into the rabbit hole, right, and just like learning so much, it's like, no, I can't eat that though.
Yeah.
Uh, I I can't go to the gas station anymore and just grab like any old little.
Nah. And
Nah.
that's one of the crazy things to me, because like I had the craziest addiction to milk chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like if I went to a gas station, a grocery store, anywhere where you had to get in line, and you know when you get in line, they put all the chocolate bars right there. I have to leave with one. I'm not leaving wherever I'm at. I grab one. I was like that for years. So it's like, for me, that was one of them things where I realized, like, dang, when you think about how much like just dairy that you consuming just by doing that, it made sense why at the time I was always congested or dealing with
Right.
sinus infections, or you know what I'm saying? Like it made sense now because of research done, and it'd be illogical to consume something that I know is gonna make me sick.
Yeah. Right.
This
Right.
shouldn't be done.
You see how we grew up, though, right? If when you would get sick, it was never what you're eating, that you
Mhm.
had candy for dinner
Yeah,
or you're eating McDonald's. It was never that. So it was always, oh, was there somebody sick at work?
yep.
Or, oh, well, you got wet in the rain and then you came inside with the AC.
You ain't have on no undershirt. It was always something
You
outside.
thought it was warm outside and you went outside like in a tank top, but it was really kind of chilly. All these other things. It was never, well, your diet is trash.
Yeah. It was never like, yo, you had cheese every night this week, dog. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Of course, you got a stuffy nose. Of course, you can't breathe. You got cheese all in your shit. My
Yeah.
bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'll be cursing on your platform, man.
No, you're good. You're good. No, man, I'm telling you. And then the other part is we've been brainwashed, right? So people will look you up and down and say, you want strong bones,
Drinking
cow's milk.
craziness.
But that's what we were taught from childhood. You go to school and you buy lunch. What does it come with?
Milk.
Milk.
Whoever is making these decisions,
Ah.
person that
It never made sense to me, even though I would eat it in school. But I'm like, but when I go home with my dinner, I don't drink milk. I don't.
yeah. Like, who was in the room and say, yo, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give them pizza, French fries, and milk for lunch every day. Craziness, man.
If I feel like it had to be the dairy industry, like school board, here's a check.
We got some
I
stuff.
go sell them. Yeah, this is, and then the only variation from that, you can either have regular milk or chocolate milk.
The chocolate milk got all the sugar in it too. So
Yes.
when you grab the chocolate milk, now you work, because as a black youth, we don't drink white milk. And if you give us an option for chocolate milk, I'm going with the chocolate milk. You
Hmm.
know, it's so boom, there you go, diabetes and all type of illness right there, because I'm drinking dairy with tons of sugar in
Yes, yes. And not to go too deep, um, but you drive through any areas, you go to the hood.
it. Yep.
Let's take gas stations, just gas stations. You go to a gas station in the hood, they got the cheapest of snacks that have the worst ingredients, right? And then you go to say like West Pines, right? West Miramar, right? Some parts of Fort Lauderdale. And you go to their gas stations and you got like the vegan protein bars and all these other options. We're in the hood, like in Carol City.
No,
Mm.
you would have rarely found it. I think now, like as we said before, with it getting so sensationalized, a
Mhm.
lot of places are starting to pick it up because they realize, like, hey, even if if I have it in here, the likelihood of somebody who passes by that wants that is way higher than it used to be now.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for me financially to have it now. You know what I'm saying? So from a capitalist standpoint, now it's starting to get to that level where they're even put maybe in like one or two of those gas stations in Carroll City. You might find like a plant-based, like you say, protein bar, or even beverage where it's like a vegetable drink or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Versus just a fridge full of Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to call them the jungle punch,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
like a red juice,
Yep.
straight sugar, straight
Make sure.
cancer and diabetes. But that's all we knew. I mean, the hot sausage at the ice cream truck, all the
Man,
ice cream.
crazy story about hot sausage, bro. One time I had a hot sausage by accident when I was like 14, 15 years old. Food poisoning for a week. From that, I was like, yo, if you even eat hot sausage, go wash your hands before you come talk to me, dog. I don't know what they put in that stuff, man. Literally, I didn't even eat it. I just bit it. But when I bit it, I knew it wasn't what I thought it was. Food poisoning for a week.
It was always sus to me when you see it in the ice cream truck and you see it's in a jar with
Yeah.
some red juice or some red fluid, and you just see these big sausages floating in the jar. I said, something don't look right. I'm gonna still eat it,
Yeah.
but something there.
But because you got them for 50 cents, I'm gonna take one.
You know, hot fries, hot sausage, jungle punch.
Oh,
Ah,
killing us. But like you say, man, it's just a brainwashing. So over time, I feel like now with social media and all these different things, and obviously with you know what I'm saying, you using your platform the way you using it, you exposing the lifestyle and the culture of everything to a lot of other people that probably wouldn't have the access. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So I commend you for doing that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because that's dope. Like we need more people in the like within our culture being a part of what's going on the online platforms too. So definitely mad respect for what you're doing right here. I
Yeah,
mean,
man. Bless. You're that motivation, man. Yeah. Seeing you all grow and just seeing the creativity.
mm,
I said, yeah, this is so necessary.
that's
So necessary.
activity is like it's a spice to life that keeps on giving. You know what I'm saying?
And when you're walking in your purpose, you can't help but to be creative.
True.
You can't help but to create new ideas, and because you're passionate about it. So it only makes sense.
Nah, sure.
It only makes sense. So, do you know what time it is?
Like the literal time, or is like another time? Because I don't know the other time. I got you in the literal time.
You don't know what time it is?
Tell me, bro, what's good? What time is it?
Tell them, y'all. Tell them. It is color time.
Okay.
Color time. All right. This segment of color time is where either host will name various colors, and you will just say whatever comes to mind. It can be spiritual, it can be logical, it can be a quote, it can be a short story, it can be funny. There
Yeah.
is no right or wrong answer. It's whatever is in your head, whatever comes to mind.
Oh, this is fire. Let's go.
All right. I love it. I love it. All right. Feel free in the chat to chime in as well. Feel free to drop some colors, some ideas, and feel free to also share what those colors mean to you. All right. So let us begin. Color number one, sky blue.
UNC Tar Heels. The University of North Carolina Tar Heels, bro. I've been a fan since I can remember picking up a basketball, to be honest.
since Jordan
I mean,
or
Jordan
before then?
a little before my era, for real.
Yeah.
As once I became a fan and I realized like, oh, that's the school Jordan went to. It makes sense why I love GOAT stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely. If we talking Sky Blue, it's definitely the Tar Heels.
Word. All
Or
right.
real quick though, B side to that, it could also be Manchester City Football Club. Manchester City has a Sky Blue too. Those two things when you say Sky Blue, that yeah.
Okay. So more or less sports
Yeah.
with the sky blue. Okay. Color number 2. Let's go with tangerine.
That reminds me of the first time I actually had a tangerine. I was probably like 7 years old, dog. Tangerines are amazing, first of all. When they had the seeds in them, those was fire. I don't know what the joints is they got right now. I don't know what those are. But the tangerines from when I was a kid, yeah, those is fire. That reminds me of the first time I had a tangerine because it wasn't a regular orange because I peeled it with my hands. And that was different. I was like, yo, why how can you peel it with your hands? You can't do this with a regular orange. And I remember my aunt, we was driving, I remember her turning back around and was like, it's a tangerine. And I just thought the word was mad funny.
Yeah. Okay. Color number 3. Let's go with. So I used this color last week, and I kind of like the response. So let's do it. Color number 3 is Doodle Brown.
That's Uncle Luke, man. Hey, nothing scrub the ground. That's the only thing that comes to mind when you say that. I ain't even go cap. Yeah, nah, and I can't think of nothing else right now. That's the only thing that comes to mind when you say dude. When you said Doodle Brown, my mind immediately sung the rest of the song.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
That was my childhood. I remember getting dropped off to elementary school,
Yeah.
and that song would drop, man. I'm in, back then as a youth, man. I'm in the car doing my little.
Bro,
That
that's the
was it.
type of energy is unmatched, bro. Like it's like music brings vibes. Those vibes, I don't know where they found it, but you can't find it again. I don't hear nothing like it.
It's different. Every decade brings a different energy, man. So when I listen to Slick Rick,
Yeah,
like old Slick Rick, right? 88, 89, that put me in a whole different energy, in a
yeah,
whole different vibe. And then you throw in like some digital underground or some Pac or some old school Nas. It's different.
yeah.
Way different. So
I like Big Daddy Kane. I like a lot of his stuff. I'm like I'm talking about like I listen to these like guys like almost every day. Big Daddy Kane. But see, like I'm more like the party music from back then. So Heavy D vibes. Like those type of little party records, like that was my vibe. Kid and Play songs, like that was my bag.
yeah.
Like this,
Heavy D in the 90s,
yeah,
he was that bridge between the kids and the parents.
yeah.
Because we used to jam a Heavy D, and my pops and them used to also jam a Heavy
And you can't help but move. It's
D.
just vibes, like you can't help but move. Like those guys knew how to move you when they was making songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I don't even know what to do anymore.
Yeah, now it's a different type of movement. Like
Yeah.
they you, but it's different now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
respect it, you know what I'm saying, for sure. Cause I still like I listen to a lot of it. But as I say, like it's a different energy. Like when you're talking about the music from then to now, the music from then moves you way different. Cause
Yeah.
like it move you like that right now. Like I can't say that a lot of the stuff that's moving us right now is gonna move us 20, 25 years from now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So like that's why I would say like just those type of vibes, that energy, just way different. It's unmatched. So like that's why I feel like Doodle Brown like that, just like yo, Uncle Luke and Doodle Brown, that should almost be in his name somewhere, like for real.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Huge, huge record and just huge time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a time too where like Miami had a nice little run.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like before the Rick Ross and the Trina, like early 90s. Like the the bass, like the booty shaking music and the Miami bass, like that was a whole vibe. Like we stood out.
Nah,
JT Money, Poison Clan.
yeah. My what you call it? I'm good friends with DJ EFN from Drink Champs. So he
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of those vibes because like I grew up in North Carolina, so I haven't lived down here like in those eras, you know what I'm saying, or even in the aftermath of those eras, like I haven't been here. So I kind of came down here. I probably say like it was early 2007, probably. So it was like then when I came here. So a lot of those vibes I wasn't really privy to like that. Like I seen it on TV,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, media, but not to say I understood it. It wasn't until I hung around guys like EFN where he was a part of that culture, you know what I'm saying? Like they was a part of pushing that forward. So just being around him and like soaking up a lot of his knowledge about it, I got put on the guys like Poison Clan and all of them guys because I didn't before that know who they was. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't aware of a lot of the Miami culture, but obviously like Uncle Luke was a polarizing figure at that time because of the court case and everything like that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
his just stardom was carried by a lot more different avenues.
Yeah, yeah. What was so in North Carolina in the 90s, like what was it? Like what was really
For me, in the 90s, from like I was born '89, so I think I moved to North Carolina in probably I would say I would say like 2000. Like I might have moved 2000, 2001. I left
Mhm.
New York when I was like 10 years old. But I don't
Okay.
remember. Like the only thing that I really remember from living in New York music wise was the Biggie and Tupac beef and the Jay-Z and Nas beef.
Mm-hmm.
Because like those were, as a kid, I really didn't gravitate towards music too much. My focuses was more sports, video games. It didn't really involve too much music, you know what I mean? Um, so like when I would hear music, it would have to be that it was amplified to an extent where people were just nonstop like, yo, you gotta hear this or you gotta hear this. And as I said, like at that time, my most graphic memories would be Biggie and Tupac going at it and Jay-Z and Nas going at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And not to go left, but those two beefs were very different.
Mm-hmm. Nah, sure.
Big, huge, but very different in the outcome, very different in in many ways. So all right. Next color. I think we're on color number 4 now.
Yeah.
Um Let's keep it going. Color number 4 is hot pink.
Hmm. For whatever reason, I can't. Donuts are stuck on my mind. I don't know why, but hot pink is giving donuts.
Strawberry frosting.
Yeah, I'm seeing a strawberry donut when you say that immediately. Might be it's a jelly donut, a strawberry
There we go.
type vibes. Yeah.
There we go. We need more vegan donut
Hey, listen,
spots.
what
I only know 2.
I'm working on it.
Hey,
You'll be able to donuts very soon from Vegetarian Delight Juice Bar. That is definitely in the on our on our table right now. So
you heard that, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that.
you hear first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coming soon. All right, let's get 2 more colors. 2 more colors, and then we'll close out with some gems. All right, next color. Let's go with lavender.
Lavender. I got these shoes, right? That have like different. They have like two different shades of purple on there. One of them is like it's like a darker, more traditional purple, and then it kind of fades into a lavender. The lavender part is my favorite part of the shoe. And when you said lavender, that's what I thought of, those shoes. Because those lavender, obviously purple, and those are my favorite pair of shoes. Purple also brings me to like herb. You know, I love perp. So that purple in general brings me there. So when you say lavender, now I'm thinking about my shoes and like specifically the strain of herb that my dad was growing in Jamaica. He's still growing it right now, but it's called Purple Cup. Amazing. If you are a connoisseur, if you medicate, amazing. You know what I'm saying? If you ever go to Jamaica, just let me know. I'll try to get you some. It's hard to come by because it's in high demand, but and definitely vibes on that.
In Jamaica, for me, it's been a hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's either been because I don't really smoke much anymore, but when you go home, I mean you're home, so, right? And it's either a hit or miss. It is either I get some stuff and I am like hallucinating. I got like 18 arms and all time. I'm like, what the hell? Or it's like too mid. And
lethargic, not really. Yeah. You see, like the way we got it down there, we got like a little greenhouse vibe. So we kind of curated a lot of the strains, similar to how they kind of do in California, where they crossbreed certain strains to get certain effects and things like that. We've done that, but without using pesticides and fertilizers, and you know what I'm saying? Like we're using natural like lime juice mixes and things of that nature to try to keep aphids and things like that out, but just overall keeping the space a certain way and knowing what to do outside of the greenhouse can keep those type of things away, you know what I mean? So we're doing everything that's necessary for those things to take place. And so far it's worked out pretty good where like you may not get it as strong as like hallucinating and seeing like, because I've been there before, so I know exactly what you mean.
I don't love it.
It was crazy, right? And like who like the person you got it from, you would trust it, like they wouldn't try no funny business with you like that. So you like, yeah, I know it's not nothing crazy you gave me, man, but yo. So nah, I definitely know what you mean, man. But like I said, we've curated a lot of them to be more on the like connoisseur and medicinal side of things. So it is potent, but it's also has like levels to it. So it's
Yeah.
not like a spike. You know what I'm saying? Like a one skyrocket to the moon and never coming down for a while.
No good. Yeah. Huh. I'm gonna hit you with your final color.
All right.
Let's go with lime green.
I channeled that. I knew you was about to ask me that. I was sitting here the whole time. I was like, please say live green, please say live green, please say live green. A couple of things come to mind, really. One, that's the color I'm about to repaint the restaurant right now. So that's why that's interesting. Also, I play a lot of video games still, right? And right now I'm playing NBA 2K. And when you make a shot, it's like this lime green flash that goes on the screen. So when you said that, that's the whole time I was thinking it. I was like, yo, say lime green, so that I can tell you about the game.
There we go.
Yeah, that was dope, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm always curious with people just on their thought process on
Yeah,
how they see colors, because colors are important.
true.
Colors are everywhere, and I mean, colors cause unity, they cause division,
Hmm.
they cause the bridge or the wall between your economic status.
Yeah,
Colors give you a feeling. In my meditations, I see colors. Colors are so huge. So I'm always curious just to kind of see um, people and their like attachment to colors, if it's logical or if it's spiritual or if it's a childhood thing or what. So
all right, said, man. I know my wife and my friends are gonna watch this back and be like, yo, Dad, I never knew that about you, man. Especially the guys from the podcast, they're gonna try to troll me with every minute of this. Just know that that's all they enjoy doing that the most. Just trolling me all day.
Nah, but I bet it's all love though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
But
went to college with two of them, and well, I met two of them in college, and the other gentleman that's on there, plus he was somebody that coincidentally, as like a kid in high school, he went viral. And when I was in high school in North Carolina, I have like vivid memories of showing my friends this video of this guy in Florida going nuts. He had this thing where he would do parodies as Rick Ross about food, and it caught like crazy viral. This was like early YouTube days, and I remember showing my friends the video of him doing Rick Ross eating donuts vividly. So when I came back to now be on the podcast with him, it was like, yo, boom.
there it is. I'm thinking if I've seen that before. That sounds familiar.
It's when it was happening, it was one of those things that was like, yo, did you see this? Like if we had Instagram and TikTok then,
Yeah.
that video would have like 100 million views easily. It was that like sensational. So I definitely find like that's definitely one of the kickers about being on the podcast with these guys for real.
Oh man, I love it. So I want to flip the script a little bit, and in the midst of this pandemic, man, we've been here for almost 2 years. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are fearful, some people are getting more so like a spiritual, like an awakening. It's brought so much unemployment, and then on another side, it's brought opportunities. What have your experiences been with it?
Oh man, I've been doing a lot of like cleansing and detoxing bad habits, right?
Mm,
And curating better habits. So I've been just kind of focusing on self-improvement, um, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, like on all levels. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, I say like throughout the pandemic, it really gave me the time to do that introspect because obviously you weren't out and about every weekend and you know what I'm saying, hanging out and vibing with everybody. So it's not, there's more time to sit back and be like, all right, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So through a couple of those what's going on, it's just kind of like, man, you gotta you gotta really tighten things up in certain areas. And yeah, I've definitely been doing a pretty good job of it recently. I've been not even recently because I'm probably going on like my probably like 5th week right now, but I'm like every at least 2 to 3 days at the least. Like I try to go five days a week, but at least 2 to 3 at the least. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely working out a lot more, staying active, playing basketball, and you know I coach little league soccer too, so I gotta
okay.
I gotta stay in shape because them kids do not play. Like they are
What
very.
ages?
Right now I'm doing U12. When I started coaching my son. So like every 2 years he has to go up. So when I started, I was doing I think it was like U8 or U6 because he started actually in a bracket above his actual age group because he's a little taller than most of the kids in his age group at the time. So they started him a bracket above. So he was actually playing with kids older than his actual age.
Mm,
And I mean he still is now, but it's only like a couple months now difference versus like a few years, you know.
okay.
But yeah, since I started coaching U8 and then we went up to U10 and now we're doing U12.
Mm.
And they don't like, it's like the kids get more competitive the older they get.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My son, he's played soccer age 3,
Yeah.
and in the backyard,
Hmm.
he got skills. He can hustle after the ball. He has good aim. And then we put him on the field with a coach and other players and like structure.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, this ain't. So I think we're gonna try it again when he's 5.
Nah, for sure, man. I wouldn't, because you know it can be intimidating sometimes. Like even for the kids who I coach now, like I have a couple kids who this is their first year even trying to play soccer, and like it can be intimidating at first because it's like, yo, when the game starts, it's a lot going on. You got kids running all which way, everybody's kicking after the ball. The ball, 1 minute you running after the ball, then the ball get kicked away over there. You're like, oh dang, do I gotta run over here too? Like
Yeah.
okay, here, then it goes way over here, and you're like, man, I gotta run over there as well. So it's like I go through it a lot with them. So even with that, like at that age, it could be super intimidating once that whistle blows and like everybody starts running. Worse if the ball comes to you and everybody's running to you, you're like, oh nah, I'm good. I don't trust me, man. I had to talk a lot of kids out of like the first day of just leaving because they're like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I'm like, nah, man, trust me. After a while, you get used to it. You just got to work on it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely try them again, yo, for real, because
Yeah.
it's not it like I say, it's that intimidation can set in and then they feel like it's that they don't want to do it when it's just that they were startled because they didn't expect it to go like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see he because when we're driving and he'll see kids playing soccer. He's
Hmm.
like, Daddy, look. And then we were at a restaurant this weekend and they had the football game, right?
Yeah.
The NFL. It was on Thanksgiving, yes. The
Wow.
Cowboys. The Cowboys, I forgot who they played, but it was a Cowboys game and then soccer, right? Football was on. So
Mm.
it's two TVs, right? Side by side.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the Cowboys game,
Hmm.
and my son, 4 years old,
Yeah.
he's looking at the other TV with the soccer, and I'm like, mm. So it's still there. It's still in him. So
No, man, for sure. Just say, like I say, just take your time with it and just nurture it. You're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? If he want to back away, let him back away. When you step in, then you know what I'm saying? Turn up. Because
yeah,
that's, especially if he likes to watch it, because I try to push my son to watch it more because he loves to play the sport, but he hasn't quite gotten into watching it yet. And watching it is where you can really pick up like the details, you know what I'm saying, and really understand the art of the game, like in the passing and how the ball's supposed to move and how defense is to be played. Like you can understand that more so when you watch it versus like sometimes when they get to playing it, they only understand it from one perspective, get the ball and go. You know what I'm saying? So like definitely if he likes to watch it, nurture that for sure.
yeah. We'll do, we'll do, we'll do. So in closing, I got two final questions. One is for those who have never been to Vegetarian Delight, um, where are you guys located? How can they reach you all for more information, menus, food items, all that?
Yeah. Um so we are in Miramar, South Florida, 6060 Miramar Parkway if you're looking for the address. Phone number 954-241-7402. If you're local and want to call and find out what's on the menu, put in your order, you can hit that phone up. If you want to find us on social media, it's at Delight Juice Bar, all one word, Delight Juice Bar. That's on everything: Twitter, Instagram. I think I got a Snapchat for it. Uh, Facebook for sure. Yeah, and then check out our website too, www.vegantraphouse.com.
Hmm. Yes, yes. And then last question, part two is what advice, what gems do you have for anyone listening? Maybe they're struggling, maybe they're on the fence, maybe they want to get into veganism, maybe they want to get into becoming a chef, or they want to start a business. We got so many options and so many things going on. Anything that you would like to share?
Um, I would I would say to anyone struggling, right? Because I understand, like right now, with the pandemic and everything, there's a lot of people going through a lot of things emotionally, especially coming into the season that we coming into now, which they've now given it a name, seasonal depression. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So, especially coming into like that season, anybody struggling with something like that, just know that there's an end to the tunnel. You know what I mean? And all you got to do is just stick through the tunnel, come out on the other side. It'll be summertime again in no time.
Hey, indeed, indeed. Sometimes that tunnel is long,
You know,
but there is an end to it.
facts. And it feels like there might not be people who are in there with you, but please believe there are people going through it right along with you. There are people who are praying for you. There are people who want you to come out on the other side. There are people waiting for you on the other side. So please, you know what I'm saying, see your way through that tunnel and come back into the summertime with us.
Hmm.
I feel the heaviness of the season myself at times. So that's why I say that. Like, yeah, if you feeling like that, just know like you're not the only one, and we'll get through this together. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact.
Yes. Yes. Indeed, indeed. Life is unexpected, and you just never know sometimes what life is going to throw you. But you can't quit.
Mm-mm.
You can't throw in the towel. You'll get tested and you'll get pushed,
Facts.
but you can't throw in the towel, man. There are people who are rooting for you who you don't even know,
Exactly.
but they're looking up to you.
Every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's just like I say, it's, you'll feel like you're by yourself. But trust me, there are people who just can't reach out and touch you and say, "Hey, man, come on, let's do this." You
Hmm.
know? And yeah, you gotta keep the faith in that for sure.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Vegan Trap Lord, man, thank you so much for your time, for your
Thank you, bro.
expertise, for your energy.
Definitely, this was a vibe, man. Now that I've been on here, you know that you gotta come and be on the podcast with the gang, like.
Say less.
Pull up. I'm gonna hit you and let you know. Like our recordings have been kind of sporadic lately, but I'm gonna hit you and let you know in advance when I can line one up for certain. All right, but I definitely got to get you on there.
Say less, man. For sure, man. We are called for this, man, and we have this opportunity, this medium of
Mm,
social media and cameras and computers, and it gives us the ability to touch the world.
facts.
You know, sometimes I look on my stats of the podcast, and I'm like, people were watching this podcast in
Yeah,
South
yeah.
Africa.
They
People were
watch.
watching this in where?
You'll be surprised who you inspire, and that's why you got to be careful, like the things you put out there. You know what I'm saying? Because the people are watching. The people are definitely watching.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Man, this wraps up November's theme of vegan chefs and vegan restaurants. I gave you 5 different vegan chefs. You got
Round of
tons of options, man. We had Crazy Vegan on here. Shout out to Big Lip and Chef Daryl. We had the
applause.
Caribe Vegan. Shout out to Melissa. We had Empress Izana was out here showing her Ital food. We had Atlanta Vegan Breakfast. If you're in the Atlanta area, listen, breakfast,
Come
that
on.
stuff looks fire. So, and then we wrapped it up right here in Miramar, man. Vegetarian Delight and Juice Bar. So it flowed as it was supposed to. Absolutely. Highly believe that. December next month, our theme and our final theme for season 2 will be models and fashion.
Okay, I
So
gotta
we going yes, so we're gonna have some male models, some female models, like some photographers, all sorts of people in the fashion industry are gonna talk and break bread, man, and share their experiences. And that'll be the end of season 2. And then we'll go on to season 3 starting in January, man. So we are moving through the midst of all the trials and all the challenges. As Vegan Traveler said, man, keep going. There's an end to that tunnel, even if you don't see it from where you currently are, but there is an end, man. So come out. Let's come out together as a team,
yeah.
as a unit, man. You know, let's rub elbows and inspire one another. And I feel like Sajak can use anybody and anything. Don't even matter. So sometimes you don't even realize you say a word
Hmm.
and that one little word changes somebody's life. Like, damn, that's the answer I was looking for. So you just never know, man. So we continually unite, man, and bring forth gratitude and bring forth wisdom and blessings, man. And if you want to fence about veganism, if try one of these spots, man. If you want a fence of creating maybe your own podcast, it ain't easy. It is not
Absolutely.
easy at all. But if you love it, if you love what you're doing, if you want to be a part, you know, jump in, man. So again, boss, thank you again. Thank you for all those in the audience. And this version right here is available on YouTube. So go watch the replay. The replay will be available as soon as I click end.
Yeah.
And then the audio version will be available tomorrow on your Google Podcast, your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, Breaker, all those major streaming platforms. And man, as I always say to end this podcast, this was the Blaze the Lion podcast. Peace and love.